Good evening. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is Let's Just Talk with Kim, and of course, I'm Kim, and I have my fabulous soul sister, Shelly White, here with me tonight, and we're going to be talking about who's checking on you. So I came to this. I've been going through a lot. This season is have always been very difficult. From the time that I passed my first son passed, my marriage, so many things have happened. Almost losing my mom. Then, last year was just like a windfall. And then unfortunately, we have another young family member who's in critical condition. So please pray. So that hit me harder than I anticipated. And it kind of triggered me and I had to really get myself together. My normal therapist was on vacation. I mean not vacation, medical leave, but praise the Lord, she comes back tomorrow. But in the meantime, I reached out to another therapist group, and one of the questions she said to me is, "Who's checking on you?" Sounds like
Mm.
you're the family member that gets everything done for your family. But who's checking on you? And I was like, and it almost brought me to tears. I was like, nobody really. Um, I said, but the services I get, I get services at my job that gives me coaches, it gives
Mhm.
me counselors, it gives
Mhm.
me a social worker, it gives me a health coach, a nutritionist. So I use you gonna tell me it's something, I'm gonna use it. So I use all resources. You know what I'm saying? Because people
Yes.
who know me know that my body is a science project. So I take up everything. Hey, Nisi Pooh, glad to see you here.
I love
Um,
it.
I anything that's free and I can benefit from, I jump on it.
Yeah.
So when she asked me that, like I really started crying. And I'm not an easy crier. I don't like to cry. I don't like to cry in front of people. I don't know. They call it a man syndrome because that's normally what men do. Men don't like to cry in front of people.
Kim, I
But
can't even relate
girl,
because I am the family crier. I
oh
have, I have,
no.
I can cry at the drop of a dime about anything. So I don't
Mm.
understand. I don't understand not being able to cry or not liking to
Most
cry.
women
Right.
are really tearful.
Right.
I can tell you it's been only a few times I cried publicly. Um, Once because I got hurt very bad. No, twice because I got hurt. Three times because I got hurt. Now that I'm thinking, it's like more times, but that's neither here nor there. And I hated the one time I hated that I couldn't stop crying, so I kept my head down like this. I wouldn't pull my head. People was like,
Wow.
"Hold your head up," and I was like, "I can't." Because of how I feel about crying. So I couldn't just let the people see that I was crying. I'm like, give me a tissue, give me a tissue.
And Kim, it's so surprising to hear you say that because you would think that somebody who does not cry would be not as like you strike me and what I know of you. You have always been a very caring person. You've always been very concerned. You've always been the kind of person that I felt like was very embracing. And
Hmm.
those kinds of traits you would think would be somebody who's somewhat sensitive and would be more
Hmm.
of a crier. So it's
Hmm.
funny to me that you say you are not a crier. And it almost
Hmm.
strikes me as that is part of the reason why you are as well as you are because you do embrace the therapy. Because given that personality, and as they call it, a man syndrome, when we think about how often men, particularly men of color, will
Hmm.
not do
Hmm.
therapy, it
Yeah,
explains a lot.
right. And
So
that's the
you are
thing.
our living, breathing proof that if
I
they would
remember,
do
yeah,
therapy, they
yeah,
would be
they would be
better.
good. Like I remember I remember I've always been in therapy. Since my son passed, I've always
Okay.
been in therapy. So I remember one guy, he was so good, so good. I'd call him from time to time just to see if he got open slots and he never does. Um But like he's not even taking calls. His voicemail refers you to other people. But I remember one time I was seeing him and he was like, "What? That's not natural. Women always cry." I was like, "Yeah, I don't cry."
Wow.
And he was like, "What is it?" I said,
Right.
"It's weakness. I feel like I'm weak
Really?
if someone sees me cry. I feel like I'm weak. Like you broke in, like and you beat me.
Mm,
So I feel like, no, let me keep these tears in because I'm not going to show that you got to me.
right.
Let's let it be known. I'll worry about that later. But it's
Wow.
just really a shell. It's a shell of protection. I do a lot of things to protect myself, especially if I
Okay.
know my worst thing is when you hurt me, you're ex for life. If you make me cry, now I'll be pleasant to you. I'll be loving to you. You'll never know, but you'll never get
Get a
close
chance to hurt you
again
twice.
to make me cry. I will make you cry before you make me cry.
Okay, Kim, that's because both of us came up under a I remember a pastor who would say, hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice, shame on me. So, I think you that was inbred in you through
It
many
always
years.
say it been. It always say. I don't know a time that I ever thought crying was okay. Probably when I was a
Wow.
little kid. I don't know if I was like a whiner or anything. My mom never said I was, but so when this season come along, and it was so funny. So back to the counselor, she asked me that question. Okay, you shared the wrong link with somebody. It's a Deb that's down there. Give her the YouTube link.
Oh, okay. Although she would make an excellent speaker in this particular in this in
Why
this
you say that?
particular conversation.
Well, I'm not gonna pull her in because
No, because she'll
people
kill
might.
she'll kill you and
Yeah,
I.
yeah. I don't know if she ready to be on there.
She's
So,
not.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't pull people in. I've been trying to do a live where I can pull people in that way on IG, but every time I go
Ooh,
on, I never have sound. I never have sound. I
really?
don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But whatever, because my nephew or somebody will be like, Auntie, I can't hear you. And I'll be like, dang it, what am I doing wrong? But so when she said that, that kind of resonated with me.
Yeah.
And then at my church there, to imagine the pastor, because we've had a lot of unfortunate and shocking, like out of the blue deaths. And he was mentioning them, and then he
Mhm.
said, I feel a spirit leading me to pray because this is the
Amen.
hardest season for
Amen.
people who struggling mentally, who
Mhm.
have dealt with a loss of any nature, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, whomever you care for. And so come to the altar. Girl,
Mm.
now I just said I don't like to cry in front of people. It's no wonder I didn't start wailing. Because I was somebody came up and helped me. And then I had myself
Ooh.
like this. I was like, come on, come on. I hear some kind of beeping. I don't know what that might be though.
You know what? It
Um,
might be my
it sounded like
computer
a
because it just
because I
does
was
it
getting ready.
every so often.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
If it
So
gets bothersome, I can switch to my iPad, but it might
no,
just
it's
be the
fine.
computer. Okay.
When we're talking, you can't hear it that much, but I did hear it again, and I was like, "What is that?" Because first I thought it was your cell phone, but and I was like, "She got her cell phone with a calculator ring kind of thing, because it goes boop, 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 like you hitting the keys."
This is a
But
fairly new laptop, but for some
oh,
reason, if
okay.
I use it all day, and I'm still at work, and if I keep it on all day, it does that. And
Oh,
sometimes it
okay.
does it, and sometimes it doesn't. And we have to been able to figure out how or why. If
Yeah.
I turn my audio down some,
No,
it
no,
may be
no.
even fainter.
But then you might not hear me.
Oh yeah, that's
As
true.
long as you can hear me, I don't care. And if you can't hear me, then I don't care about the people. But so like and it was a release for me, like that prayer. And then he walked through. He always do that when he has an altar call for prayer. He'll walk through the people and touch. Are you still there? I think she froze. So hopefully she come back. So he walked through and he touched everyone. And he said, Lord, let this person um feel my touch and know that you are with them. And girl, I started wailing again. Let me text her. I don't know if she knows she out. Child, I started wailing again. I'm sure she'll be right back. Technical issues. What you gonna do about it? Girl tried to, play the game and be at work and not try to rush home and be like seconds before I go live, she's popping in. So give her some grace and we're gonna pray she be back. But anyway, but after the prayer, when I tell you, I felt like a weight had lifted off of me. A weight had lifted off of me. Welcome back, my sunshine and sun
See,
SON.
this is why I should not touch technology.
Yeah,
That's
keep your
all I'm gonna
hands to
say. This is
yourself.
why I should not touch
Keep your
technology.
hands to yourself. So when I was saying about the prayer call and him walking through, like I felt a weight just lift off of me. And
Wow.
I'm so excited about tomorrow. Like I thought I put it wrong on my calendar, thinking it was tonight, which it would have been
Now, what
before
is
this show.
tomorrow, Kim?
Oh, my therapist is back, my
Okay.
licensed therapist.
Okay.
So I'm excited to talk to her.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like I knew I needed help. So I reached out to, it was called the Marvin Group, and they signed me up with a counselor.
Okay.
And even though I did all the talking, I felt like, what's going on up in here?
Right.
What's going on?
Mm.
But when she said that, who's checking on you, hit me to my soul.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really don't have that connection. You
Wow.
know, I don't have like I have people that we kind of check on, but we all going through. And it's hard. You can't like your friends and everything, when everybody is going through, you can't hold it on them that they may not check with you. Like my girl, Leek, she this is my number one. She I text her early in the morning to tell her why I'm not walking and I haven't been calling
Okay.
her. So I'm her encouragement. Um, so I said, I was like, I know that you've been wondering what's going on with me, and I explained it all out to her. She literally texted me right before I started setting up for the show, and I was like, no worries, we all got a lot going on. So, did you freeze again? My Lord, y'all better pray for Shelly White, because she off and on again. She touched she touching her stuff. So pray that she get her life together and come back in and be strong with it. Strong with it. She might have to change to her iPad. But so my number one leak, my sis, my number one boo, my girl, she she texted me right before the show and I was like, no worries. We're all busy. So I say that because we can't hold judgment on our friends that they're not reaching out, because everybody got something to go going on. Like she had a recent death from a friend that I grew up, from her cousin, Bub. we grew up together. We hung out together. He was, of course, the older cousin. He was the one taking me and Leak everywhere. So, and I can only call her Leak. Only certain people can call her Leak. Um, hey, baby, I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. There she go. There go my sister. There go my sister. So I was just talking about you, saying how, I sent you that text in the morning, and then you was like, "Dag, I'm just now seeing it," or whatever you said, and I it was that. Oh, you look so much clearer too.
See how it works. Because the things the devil tries to put you under, sometimes God will turn around and fix
Right,
it.
exactly, exactly. My girl Leak, I was just talking about, she's on.
Oh,
So she texted me, but I was like, no worries. We all busy. What we gonna do?
yeah,
And then I couldn't really keep responding to her because I was setting up for the show.
yeah.
So I just sent her the link and she jumped on. So, but yeah, so you can't hold your friends accountable, but you need someone. You need someone. And a lot of people don't realize when you're going through seasonal, what do they call it? Seasonal anxiety, depression, I think.
SAD,
Yeah.
seasonal
Is
something
the A
disorder. And it's the thing that has to do with us not being exposed to enough light. And some people, they'll use the really bright light and sit under that bright light for a certain amount of time per day.
right, right.
What they recommend, if you have it, that season, and I can't remember the A, but if you have that seasonal
I'm trying to
disorder,
see
they
if I can
also
find it.
recommend that you walk or do something
Oh
outside
yeah,
during
yeah,
the
yeah.
day. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Of course, it came me up with quotes. It didn't give me what I wanted. I didn't want quotes. But anyway, so the thing is that, but it almost plays into the season
yeah.
because you normally get into that this season. People start missing folk. This is
Yeah,
the holidays, and you have that empty chair, or you had
yeah,
that person. Like last year for me, it was like after everything was over and it was time to clean up. Normally my brother Rick would clean up, and he passed. So all of us was kind of in a standstill, like Uncle Rick would do this. Like
right.
he would do it real quick. And
Mhm.
so it took us a moment, and then we started, like me and the kids, we started cleaning up. But those, when you have those moments where you're missing someone and they're not there, or you're going through something and it's very
Yeah,
detrimental, because loss can be in a multitude of things that
yeah.
can affect you. You can lose your house in a fire, like we went through. We got somebody. I knew somebody had us. That's your girl
I was
Deb.
trying to text it to you quick, Kim.
Oh, okay. But she was right on the ball. Thank you, Debbie. My
See,
other left hand. I'm gonna call you my left because Malika is my right.
Kim, didn't I just say Deborah would be a
A
good
good
guest?
one. Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
telling you, she is she would be the one who's checking on me. She's
Okay.
one of my who's checking on you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I can't even really tell the truth about it because I don't even remember how long ago it was, but I suspect that Deborah and I have known each other going on 15 or 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
We met, I was doing a seminar, and she came, it was some kind of financial seminar. She came up afterwards and showed me $1 million check that she had in her wallet that she had written to herself. And she
Mm-hmm.
did it because she knew that one day she was going to be able to cash this $1 million
Right.
check.
Right.
And she stuck in my head at that point and continues to, we may not talk. We might not talk for a year. We might not
Yeah,
talk for
that's how
6 months.
me and Leak is.
However, when we talk, I can talk to her about anything, and she always pours into my life. And I
Mm-hmm.
like to believe that I also pour into her life. And
Right,
if we
right.
need to talk for a season, we will talk for a season. Right now, her and I have been both separately and didn't realize until we connected recently that we are both counting down the days to 2023.
Mm.
She's been doing it for a year now, but I've been doing it for it's my birthday was in September, and this year it just got heavy on my heart that I needed to start really counting my days because I've been in such a cycle of something for the
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years. And I see
Girl.
myself coming out of it. And I just said, I needed God to recover my time, and I needed to really count my days. So I literally say to myself this morning, I was like, okay, it's the 19th. I am the 20th will be 11 days. I count the 20th and today. So I have 11 days to 2023. And I
Mm-hmm.
started doing this when I was at 63 days to 2023. Um, and I do it because, well, it's funny because Deborah's one of the people that checks on me. I have a very good girlfriend who is out of Atlanta. She was my college roommate. She will also check on me. And it was interesting because December 1, I was like, oh my gosh. In my usual anxious self, I said, oh no. I said, okay, I can't. I said, oh my gosh, it's December 1st. I have 31 days to impact, 31 days to impact. And my girlfriend happened to call me and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying not to freak out because I have 31 days to impact 2023. And I'm sorry, to impact 2022. And she said to me, okay, I need you to be still for a minute. Pretend that I'm standing right up next to you, right in front of you, and I am holding both of your hands in my two hands. And I am saying to you in my best Yama Van Sant voice, sister, you're doing too much. She said, instead of you looking at it and going, I only have
Right,
31
right,
days
right, right, right.
to impact the rest of this year. She said, you should be looking at it like, oh my goodness, I still have 31 days to impact this year. She said, do
Yeah.
you know what you could do in 31 days? And when she said it, it kind of snapped me back. And so ever since she told me that, I have been saying to myself, you know what? You still have 11 days to impact 2022. You still have 20 days to impact 2022. And I've been counting my days that way. So I
Mm-hmm.
am really, as you talked about it, it's funny because I think in my individual circles, people say, Shelly's the one who'll check on you, because I'm usually pretty high energy. I'm usually pretty happy. I'm usually pretty positive. And so I think in my various circles, I should say that my various circles,
Right.
my credit union circle, my church circle, my greeter circle, my girlfriend circle, my college friend circles, and all those circles, they would say, Shelly's the one who's going to check on you. But I have to say that I have Deborah, I have Margot, um, I have a woman who has become who I call my auntie, um, Anita Wingfield. Do you remember her?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I call her Auntie A now. She literally checks on me every morning with some kind of, it's a Wednesday theme, little thing I sent you this morning. She has sent me. So
Mm-hmm.
she texts me every morning at 7:15, like, hey, what's going on? My mentee checks in on me. And she will check on me because, interestingly, although we're probably 30 years apart, her and I both have done therapy and are very actively, very, very open about it.
Right,
And we
right,
talk
right.
about it and we talk about different things, and what's working for you, what's not working for you, what's going on. And so she also will check on me. And then somebody else. Who else is in my check-in group? But I have another group, and yet none of these people touch each other.
Right, right. And that's
And
typically how it is
yeah,
because in every one of my group, like I have a sister circle group. That group, Mama Bear checks on everybody. That's my
right.
girl Carolyn. She checks on
Mama Bear.
everybody. And right now, pray for her. She got COVID. Just keep her in
Oh,
prayer. I don't want to call her because I know how I felt.
yeah.
It COVID is not something that you want to talk on the phone. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't call me.
Right.
But it is that's her job. Like I know, like one of my things which I try to get better with. I'm not really I haven't overcome this hurdle, but I'm getting close. Um, when things become heavy for me, I drop back.
Mm.
From people,
That's me.
I pull back. I
Yeah,
become silent.
that's
And
me.
typically when I'm silent, that's when Mama Bear calls me. Like, you good?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because she know something's up.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I waited.
Yeah.
She still hasn't come back to, check on me. I mean, to come in the group. She hasn't been active. We've been chatting. She ain't saying nothing. So Mama Bear, she'll be like, "What's going on? I just
Mm-hmm.
need to hear your voice." So,
Oh,
but we always have something like with
yeah.
Leek, she's better at it than I am.
Right.
So, like when my brother passed and my nephew passed, she was Johnny on the spot. But I was good at calling when I needed company. So I
Good.
would
That's
call
good.
her
That's
and
good.
say, "Can you ride with me? Because it's something I need to do." Like
Yeah.
even when I was getting glasses once, it was something I needed to do this. But because of what was going on, I didn't want to. So
Yeah.
I knew if I called my girl,
You
we
can go.
would go.
Yep.
So like she's good with calling, and it's the opposite. So when she was going through when her cousin passed, she didn't call me. Like I didn't even know. I happened to find out on Facebook because I think her
Mm,
mom or her dad had posted, and it was after the fact. And I was like, "Girl," she was like, "I was just so overwhelmed,
yeah.
so overwhelmed." So I try to reach out to her, but I also understand we're different. Some
Yeah.
people need space, and some people don't. So I respect what you give.
Right.
Like if you need, I'm there. And we've
Right.
always been like that. Like how when you said about not talking in a year, child, we have not talked for even longer than that. But
Right.
when we talk, it's like it was yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
And that,
and that's the kind
it's
of
funny
friendship
because
you need to have. We grown.
that's
We
a
got
gift.
families. We got
Yep.
bills.
Yep. My oldest friend, who is one of my girlfriends, Olanga, her and I have been friends since second grade. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell anybody this. I could not talk to her for 6 months or a year, and I could call her and tell her the most intimate, the most personal things, and she is going to not judge me. She is going to hold my
Mm-hmm.
hand wherever I need her to hold my hand. She's going to
Right.
ride with me, whatever I need to do, without regard for whether she agrees, disagrees, likes, or dislikes whatever's going on. But
Right.
that's the kind of friend that she is to me. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of relationship I have, which I value because
Mm-hmm.
we are grown and we do get busy. And
Right.
sometimes, everybody says, and I'm sure they do this to you too, Kim, because you got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody says, you need to slow down. You got too much stuff going on. You need to learn how to say no. But yet, when you tell them no, it's why? Oh, you can't. What? What? Well, we haven't seen you in 6 months. Yeah, because I've been busy for the last 6 months. You know what I mean? So it's hard sometimes when you are that person, that you are the person that people expect to be the light, expect to be happy, expect to be content, expect that nothing's going on.
Right.
But I
Right.
do have to say that I'm very blessed. I have a couple of older ladies who will just call me and say, "Look, I haven't heard from you. I haven't seen you. Just know I'm praying for you." One of my sisters, Charmaine, she sent me something this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now she didn't
Right.
know I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but at 4:40, she sent me a text and sent a little meme saying, "Hey, look, I'm just thinking about you. Just know that I'm praying for you. I hope everything's okay." And I was like, I told her, I said, I've been up tossing and turning since 2:30 this morning. I said,
Mm-hmm.
I did finally just fall back asleep. I said, and the alarm just went off, and I'm getting up because I just have a lot on my mind right now. I'm feeling a little bit like I have to kind of talk myself off the edge. And she shared, as I was looking at her, sending her the text, I looked back at some texts that she had sent me. And one of the things she sent me said, do not get up in the morning rebuking the devil. She said, don't get up in the morning rebuking the devil. She said, do not give him that space. When you get up in the morning, you go to your window, you look up at the sky,
You
and you
give
thank
God
God for giving you
praise.
a
What? What?
whole armor of God. She said, then you put on your praise music and you sing and you
Right.
dance and you do whatever you need to do. But do not start out the morning rebuking him and giving him the first space in your
Cause he
brain.
ain't give you strength to wake up. He ain't open your eyes. He didn't call your name and you rose.
Well,
We
how you
don't
get to be
rise on
50
our
something years
own.
old and you don't know
Come
you're
on
not
there.
supposed to rebuke him first?
Listen, listen. Yeah, you give God glory. You say thank you, Lord, for
Right,
all that you have done.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You know this wreck of a person I am. and you still love me. You called my name. That
Right.
alarm didn't wake me up. You
Right.
did. Because
Right.
the alarm could have went off and I could still be asleep.
Sleep. Or not. Or still just
Or
not be
right.
sleep.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, you definitely, I think when it comes to like the topic, who's checking on you, you have to evaluate your space. You
Yeah.
have to evaluate your circle. And then you also have to reach out. It's this young lady that from my church, we went one of the I groups. Our I groups are sort of like cell groups, but
Okay. Yeah.
they are topic focused, not well, our old cell groups.
Okay.
Sharon's old cell groups. It was
Yep.
like that.
Gotcha.
So we went to her house where she literally lives a block away from me. Her spirit was so inviting. Like I already knew her, I've
Mm,
already met her, but it's just something about her. So after service on Sunday, when I had that, release, I walked up to her and I said, if you don't mind, I would like to get closer to you.
I love that. I
Because
love that.
that smile you have,
Yep.
the love that oozes off of you, the excitement that you have for God, for life, for everything. I need to be closer to that. And she just burst into tears and was like, "Thank you."
Oh
She was
wow.
like, "Absolutely. Let's exchange numbers. Let's make it happen." So it was like,
Wow.
it was like because sometimes, like I was in my leadership class in seminary, and that's what he said about picking. You have to pick your who that person is, that
Okay.
one that you need to draw off of. You pick that person, but
Interesting.
the mentee picks you. So it's
Okay.
almost like you picking your mentor. So
Yeah.
that you never pick that person that you need to draw from. And it doesn't mean that you need to have one person.
Right. Right.
You gotta pray about it, which I did. I prayed when he said that. I literally, as the class was going on, I started praying.
Wow.
Um, because I know, like yes, I have mentors. Don't get it twisted. Um, but I don't have a mentor who will give me what she can give me. Her
Okay. Got
distinct
you. Got you.
person that like us, so like how
Yep.
you say that, like sometimes
Yep.
I'm in a
Yep.
rut, I'm
Yep.
going through.
Yep.
It's hard for me to breathe. I'm feeling the weight and the
Yep.
heaviness
Yep.
of everything.
Yep.
I'm trying to get things done for my parents. I'm trying to get things done for myself. I'm helping my
Right.
nephew. I'm helping my son. I'm
Yep.
helping my little cousins who calls me nephew. I mean, calls me auntie. So
Right.
like they all my kids, and I
Right.
try to stick with my kids. I talk
Right.
to all of them just to make sure they know that I am there.
Yep.
I laugh at the stuff they laugh at, but watch
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Don't go too deep because I'm still your auntie. But I needed that. I needed like everything that she was displaying. I realized I needed. I needed
I
that in
love
my
that.
life.
I love that.
So when we get into um that mood, that we get into our thoughts, we get let the enemy run havoc on our mind. Not only
Mm.
do we need to have a therapist, but we also need to have that person that
Yeah.
is totally opposite of what you feel.
Right. Right. And it's
When you
funny
feeling
because
sad and stuff, you need that person. You need that person because they're going to pull it out of you. They're going to be laughing, jolly, and you without even trying, you imitate people. The people
yeah.
who's closest to you, you imitate them.
And it's funny because now the only one of all of those people, the one who, what I love about my mentee is she's she will allow me to sit in that space and she doesn't take it personal because she knows that part of what I need is sometimes I need to go into that space because unfortunately that's also where my rest space comes in. So sometimes if I've been going and everything just shuts down, I need to kind of just not be the life of the party, not be jokey,
Oh yeah,
not be
yeah, yeah.
happy, just not to necessarily be sad, but to just be quiet.
Mhm.
And she can sit with me for half a day, a whole day, and we just watching TV. But she might
Mhm.
be, she's young, so she's on her phone. I don't know, Instagram and TikTok and tweet.
Tickering.
I know,
Did
don't
you
say it.
not
No,
say
tweeting,
tickering?
because she's teaching me now that Twitter is like their new thing. Like they use Twitter. Like
Yeah.
I thought Twitter was supposed to be for old people, but they use Twitter like
Oh
as their
no, 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 no.
communication.
No, no, no.
So
Yeah.
she'll be tweeting or something, and
Twickering.
I'm just like, and she's okay with me just sitting there, kind of just watching TV and not really being up, and she accepts that from me. So
Mhm.
that's where she comes in. My other girlfriend, she can call me and say, "How's my friend doing today?" I can hear it, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm in a little struggle right now. I'm in a little struggle," and she'll send me something stupid in TikTok that's just so like so stupid. And I'll say, you know what, I don't even like that because that's so stupid. But she'll make me listen to a song that's just, ridiculously silly or ratchet or something like that. And I'm like,
Right,
that is
right.
I'm not even feeling that particular song. However, I could see you dancing around singing that song, and that made me laugh. And she said, "Yeah, but you know what? You sound more like my friend now than you did
Mhm.
20 minutes ago when I first talked to you before you
Right,
listened to the
right.
song." And so I didn't even think about that mirroring, but you're absolutely right. And
Right,
that's
right.
part of it. And what's funny is my husband is not super, he's a guy. He's loving, he tries. If I ask him to do something, he depending on what it is, he might begrudgingly do it, maybe. But he says to me, what, how you feeling today? Because he can tell because I'm just kind of sitting around, or I have a certain thing. And he used to tell me, when you're really going through it, he said, you may say the right things, but I can hear it like you're crying inside. He said your voice
Mm.
has a tone to it, like you are crying, even though I'm looking at you and you're not crying. He said, and so he's learned too, when he knows that's going on, he might, if I've been in the house all day just sitting around, he'll go, "Okay, come on, we're gonna run to CVS." Because he knows just getting me up and out the house can be helpful to kind of me moving through the process.
Mhm.
Or he'll say, you want to go to the gym for 15 minutes or 30 minutes, or you want to do a walk, you want to walk the neighborhood. Did you work out today? Or you want to just walk?
Yeah.
He'll do stuff that pulls me out. But he was the first person that told me he could hear it. And then my girlfriend is probably the only other person that can hear it. And my mentee knows it, but she just
Yeah,
knows me at a different level.
I have a friend, Michelle. She was like that. She can, like, I can put on the biggest smile and actually pass the P too. What's wrong? Like when
Pastor
I
Pete is good.
was really,
He's good.
yeah, when I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling good, I would get away from Pastor Pete and
Yes.
Michelle
Because
because
he
I
does do
don't
that.
need them in my business. Because
Yeah.
then they going, like Michelle, she gonna give you one of those hugs and you gonna just break.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna just tear and she'll be like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay."
Yeah.
No, don't, no.
Especially not for you.
Exactly. And then Pastor the P, it's like he looking in my soul and he be like, "What you doing? Let's go to Starbucks."
Oh, oh, that's so him. He does. He has such a tone with you that he'll say, "How you doing?" And he give
Right.
you that look, and you're like, "I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay." Like you just trying to say something because you know.
Yeah,
And then you're like,
yeah.
"I'm okay." He's like, "Really?" And you're like, "Okay, well,
Yeah. I
that's
mean, and it's important to have that. I mean, it's important to have those people in your life. And it could be in various scenarios. Like we said, we tend to have circle of friends.
yeah,
So it could be in various circles. It could be one person. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that one person needs to be consistent,
yeah,
but sometimes you get in a rut
yeah,
and then you don't have nobody calling you.
yeah,
But just I know for me, just pray. Because God gonna sing you what you need. He
Yeah.
really is. He's gonna take care of you. He loves you too much. You know, like the things I love about him is how he talks about us. That he created us in his mother's womb. You know, he knows everything about us. He's the one that calls me beautiful. You don't need to call me beautiful.
Right.
I know I'm beautiful because God told me. But don't get it twisted. I'm soft on the eyes. You can say a lot about me. You can say I talk loud, I talk too much. She could be moody. But what you're not gonna say,
She ain't never
I
messed,
can say to myself, oh girl, look at you. I
but you
don't
ain't
know what
never
they
messed.
see. But if it ain't never coming back to me. Listen, listen. Like I remember Gina told me one time, she said, "You are the most confident, insecure person I know."
Oh, I'ma hurt her. I love it. But you know what you do have, you do carry yourself very confident and comfortable. But I
Hey
also
nephew.
think in some ways that comes to that's what like okay, again, my mentee who is funny because just today she always I'm getting ready to be I always thought I'm so hip because of you. So
Hmm.
the day she sent me something and said WYA. No, WAY. And I said, what does that mean? She said, what about you?
Mm,
I was like, okay, I never heard that. I never, but you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's how she checks on me. And she's
right.
listening now. She said, she just texted me and said, I'm listening now. This is very appropriate. I can't believe you just gave me a shout out. But, but I just appreciate that and that for her, she's in her 20s. And I tell her,
Hmm.
I say, just keep pressing, keep walking, keep pushing, keep trusting, keep doing what you can do to be your best self and keep fighting
Hmm.
for your mental health. Because your 20s are hard and your 30s are really as a woman.
Hmm.
As a
Hmm.
man, I think your 20s are some of your best times because you don't know nothing, you don't care about nothing, it's just nothing. 30s is when the men start to say, wait a minute, I'm not always going to be what I am right
Right,
now.
right,
I'm
right,
not always going. And you start looking at men in their 30s a little more like, okay, what are you substantially bringing to the table? And they
right.
know it. They know that they're looking at themselves like, what am I substantially bringing to the table? But for women, I think the 20s and the 30s are equally as hard because the 20s you don't really know what's going on, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, who you going to be with, you want, what do you want to get. Your 30s, all of those things that you didn't know in the 20s, you got to figure it out because now you're on a time clock, especially when it comes to dealing with kids or having children or whatever. By the
Right, right,
time you
right.
hit your 40s, I think most of us either have done it and had kids, or have decided, you know what, I'm not going to do it now. It's a little too late for me. I'm going to let this thing go. So by the time you hit your mid 40s, you are so like, I don't, when I tell you I don't care, I don't care.
Girl, girl.
I don't know what I just had on the other
When
day.
I hit
And I
my
said to one of
50s,
my
it was
girlfriends, I
really,
said,
I felt, you know how when we were young and we be like, yeah, when you get old, they say whatever want to come out of them. I listen, and I ain't even the age that I would say that about people.
me either,
But
but
let
I'm
me
so
tell
happy
you,
to say it.
I'm 52 and I'm going to say what I
Yes,
got to say. Want to
yes.
say what I got to say.
We gonna say it, and we gonna say it to anybody. It's so
Hmm.
funny because I'll be on the bus with somebody, and I'll be like, "Baby, I need you to stop doing X, Y, Z." I'll be like, "Baby, can you please?" I'll hear somebody conversation. I say, "Let me just tell you this. I'm 54. Don't worry about that. You don't have to pick up everything somebody else put down. Just because they said it about you, you do not have to take that. Do not carry that with your stuff. Do not receive it. Okay?"
Right, right.
And I just jump in and I just talk to people, anybody, all the time because I am that quintessential old person. And I'm so
For
comfortable with it,
today.
I don't even care.
I
Okay?
know, I know. But we definitely need to be more conscious of our friends and try to be more communicative. I know
Yeah.
I'm not the best contactor. I'm really not. That's why I
But Kim,
don't mind
here's the
being
question. even though you're not the best contact, because there is also a point where, when you're younger, with younger people, we expect younger things from them. But when
Mhm.
you are friends and you have friends that are in your group. So we talking, if you're 52, I'm 54. When you talk about, we got friends, let's say from like 45 to 65 or 40 to 65 is probably
Mhm.
any of our group. At this point now, I need to be able to say, okay, I need to be able to say, Kim is not going to reach out to me, but I need this from Kim, or I need to understand this, or Kim could bring this to the situation, and I need to be able to text Kim and say, or reach out to Kim and say, Kim, I need a couple minutes,
Yep.
because that
Yep.
you we also have to take certain responsibility and
Yes,
ownership
indeed.
of our
Yes,
own
indeed.
health and of
Yeah.
our own needs. Now, you don't want to be needy, but classic example. Deborah and I were talking, and she was like, okay, when we need to touch base, we should touch base every Wednesday. I said, Deb, maybe we can touch base every Wednesday, but I can't add another commitment to my calendar right now. So I can't say for sure I'm going to call you every Wednesday. I said,
Mhm.
because I just cannot, I can't add that on for me right now. I am in a
Right.
state
Right.
where I cannot put that on me right now. And she was like, okay. She didn't, I could tell she wasn't in
Oh
love with
my
it,
God. Oh, I thought we
but
lost
she
you
got
again.
it, and she was okay with it. Uh-oh. Kim, can you hear me?
You there? I can
Okay.
hear you. It's a little
Okay.
delay. You froze for a
Okay.
minute completely, and then you can't. Your voice
Because
came
that's what I
back.
saw you do. And I was like, oh, am I gone? Yeah, but she just, she just jumped, she got it. And so
Mhm.
sometimes we have to take that ownership and we have to take responsibility. I'll tell you one of the most insightful things that my therapist did. And I would encourage anybody who, if you aren't in therapy, if you have never done therapy, most of us, your insurance company, if you have regular insurance, your insurance will pay for a couple of sessions. If you work a job, usually the employee services, it's confidential. They will
Mhm.
send you and let you go talk to somebody 4 or 5 or 6 times or whatever. If you've never done it, it is worth the effort of finding a good therapist. I had a therapist that I went to for years who I loved. She was quirky. She was quirky and I was quirky. So it was a perfect fit for me. But when I went to therapy, when I said, okay, I was ready to try therapy again, this is now a couple years later, I actually said to the medical people, I would like a therapist. Ideally, I would like a woman of color. If not, I would like a person of color. And ideally I'd like somebody local because I really prefer to actually go into the office versus doing a
Okay.
teleconference. And they literally matched me up with a woman who was a Black woman, Christian, about my age. And one of the things that she said to me was, you really don't exercise enough self-care. And I was like, excuse me. And she was like, I know, because when I say that, most of the women who I talk to and say that to, they go, I beg your pardon. I get my nails done. I get my hair done. I always care about myself. I try to keep it together. And she said, that's not what it's about. She said, if you're going to tell me that you have a room that you call your hoarder room because it's got too much junk in it, and you gonna tell me that you spent the whole weekend running around with your friends and going out and doing this for your mom, and you did this and you went here and you did that, you went to church, you did that. She said, if you tell me that, and we've been meeting week after week, every week you have a reason why you have not touched anything in that hoarder room. And most of the time your excuse is somebody, you're doing something with other people or for other people. She said, that's a self-love issue.
Mhm.
She said, because why do you not love yourself enough that you don't do something that you know will clear your space, will clear your mental clutter, will help you be in a better space, in a better place. You told me these are the reasons why you need to address this space. And yet you're not addressing this space under the
Right.
excuse of you're doing things for other people, with other people. She said, you have great things you're doing. I'm not saying that what you're doing is like, you're not, you're not all sitting somewhere, smoking and doing nothing. But the fact of the matter is that if you really have self-care, then self-care means you will look at your own time and say, you know what? I have to limit my interactions right now. I need to shut this down. I had a
Mhm.
girlfriend recently, and this is somebody I've known this girl since she was 14 years old. She is one of my oldest friends. I feel like I know her inside and out. Why did I just find out maybe 2 or 3 months ago that every Sunday she shuts her phone off? She said, you're on my emergency list, so if you call me, you can get through. She said, but I know rather than you call me, you'll probably text me if it's nothing else going on, if it's just informational. She said,
Right,
so I don't
right.
really worry about it. I feel like if it's really something big going on, you're gonna call me. And if you call me, it'll go through. But I didn't even know she turned her phone off on Sundays. I said, I
Yeah,
think that's brilliant.
I do it like, because with the Apple phone, you can set it up.
Yeah,
So even like this is for me, actually, this is for me. This is personal care because it's what I want to do.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? And this makes me feel good. Even though sometimes I'll be like, ugh. But once I get on, I'm cool.
Yeah,
So you can't call me during my showtime. You
right,
can't call me during church.
right.
You can't, and I don't even have to be at a church service. If I'm on the church grounds, you can't call me. You
Okay.
can't call me after 8 o'clock because I protect my sleep.
Oh, Kim, now that's a good one. That's
I
good.
protect my sleep. You got to protect things for yourself.
Yeah.
So, and then when I try to get up in the morning, when it's closer to the time that I need to go, you can't call me or text me
Wow.
because that'll distract me.
Yeah.
And now I'm late because I was texting and talking to you
Kim,
because
you
I'm
know what? I'm
easily
just learning how to
distractible.
do that.
I'm
I've just
easily
this year learned to do
distractible.
that.
Really? Oh God, I am
Because
so
I have a couple of friends and they'll call like first thing in the morning because they know that's when they can catch me. And I have started, I'll send them in a minute. I will turn that thing off. Nope. And I've just learned to do that in the last, it's gotta be no more than last 4 months.
yeah. I have all kinds of setups on my phone where I do not want
Okay.
to be disturbed. And then I even have one that says no one. Meaning when I turn that on, absolutely no
Nobody.
one.
Okay.
So if I'm in a place where I just don't want to be disturbed, because naturally people don't
Right.
understand, but I'm a natural introvert. And there's
Are you
times
really?
where, oh my God, this is God. This is God. This ain't me. This is God. And people who know me, they forget. Like they forget
Okay.
when you met me how quiet I was, how I observed and made
You
sure that I
do.
would be safe.
Okay.
And
But
sometimes I would do
when
that.
you what it doesn't take you long to get safe. And when you
Mm-mm.
are safe, you are so you are
I'm
then that
open.
person that's going to pull people in. You're that
Yeah,
person
I'm
that's going to
authentic.
be the light. You're going to be the leader a little bit. You're going, you don't have to be up front, but if you put you up front, you're going to serve up front. Like you, to me, you, I don't. It's very hard for me to consider you an introvert
Hmm.
because you are so extroverted
I
once
can
you get
stay in
comfortable.
my room all weekend with no problem.
Really?
With no problem. I love the fellowship. Don't get me wrong.
I know.
But I can stay home and be all right and just watch my movies, catch
Wow.
up on some sitcoms, the ones I like that's on my DVR. I can do so much and don't care.
Wow.
And I help with my parents. Like
Okay.
I manage a little bit of things with my parents. I help them with different things. But then I will even say, especially to my dad, my mom, no, my dad, don't come in my room. And then I remember a couple of times I would lock my door. She locked her door.
Is, is she? Her door is locked.
And then I got places I can literally go, be like, what you doing?
Yeah.
Because I need to escape. I
Wait,
just need to be lost.
Kim. Wait. I really think that that might be a little bit of an age thing.
But
Again,
I've
because
always been that way. No, it's not an age
I've
thing.
never been that way, but I will
Oh,
do that. And it's funny because I'll tell my husband, I say, babe, I'm going to stay in a hotel for the night. I say, I'm going next Friday, I'm going to go stay in a hotel. And he's like, can I call you? I was like, yeah, you can
no.
call me.
Oh,
I
I
said,
would have said no.
I say, but I'm not telling you where I'm going until after I get back. I said, but Melissa, I have a cousin that's in Boulder, Colorado. My brother's in LA, and my other girlfriend is
They know where
in
you are.
Atlanta. I say all three of them, I share my content, I share my location with. I said, so if something really happens and you need to know where I am, any of those three can tell you where I am exactly. And he's like,
Right, right.
okay. And when I tell you, he's like, okay, and he don't ask no more questions. When I come home, I'm
Yeah.
like, babe, here's where I stayed. Here, I don't even think he listens to me or cares. But
Yeah, I got
I
friends that I
definitely
share
have
my
those times when
location
I'm
with
like,
as
I just
well.
have to get away. And my mother
Yeah.
doesn't understand it. She's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna go? Are you and Tony gonna go? No. I said, no, mom, I live with him. If I wanted to be with him, I could stay home. I need to be able to stretch out on the big bed, watch TV all night if I want to keep the TV on all night. I want to be able to just care about me and not have to deal with nothing.
Right,
But
right.
I can't
Yeah.
believe that you done locked your parents out the house, out the room.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
a definite violation.
Violation to what?
Violation to the parent code. Okay,
No, it ain't.
because they're in your house, so they can't say
No,
that
I'm
they.
in their house. I'm in
Oh,
their house.
and you still get to lock the door.
My room is my space. My dad tries to say, you don't have no room here.
Right.
As long as my stuff is in this room, this is my room and my space.
Kim, he's holding on to the 16-year-old you that had to be there, where he was taking care of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Because he always be like, where you going? Where you coming? Man,
Uh,
I am 52 years old.
I love it.
You are not asking me where I'm going. Don't ask me those questions. I'm a
Right,
grown
right, right,
woman.
right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so you got to protect your space.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to have that sanctuary. You got to have a
You're right.
place, wherever it is, you have to have that place of safety. You have to have that place of even rescue. You got to have that place where you can get to and be free,
Yes, yes.
that will accept you for who you are. Like, I am who I am. You can never tell what comes out my mouth. I
Right,
control it well, especially when I'm working.
right.
But sometimes stuff come out my mouth. I didn't intend to say that, but it'll come out. I'd be like, ooh, you know me. I'll be done said so. I've had to apologize.
Kim, I
Hold on.
love it. Cause you know me.
I am 100% authentically me. What you see is what you get. Like
That's
some people, I remember one time I did the call to worship,
okay.
and I'm steady smiling and stuff. And somebody asked one of my friends, she up there smiling. She don't smile that much. She was like, oh, I'm sorry. She was like, yes, she does.
Yeah,
How
yeah, she
you
does.
see her is
Yeah,
how
that's
she
it.
is.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
then it was one time they had to pray for me because it was someone who unfortunately both spouses passed. I
Oh,
got, you know how we used to do, and we used to announce
yeah,
the
yeah.
who all passed from members. I was up there, got the list last minute, which
Mm.
you can't. I mean, I would always be like, why the last minute? I can't say people names.
Oh, girl,
So,
I will jack up a
girl,
name or a
girl,
word in a minute.
it's like, and then I'll hear somebody, I'll be like, oh, okay. Because I ain't going to try it again. I'm going to go what you said.
Right.
You said it. If I heard it, everybody did. But it was a husband and wife. And I read one, and then it said his wife. And my girlfriend
Oh,
said she immediately, yes, it's very sad, but she immediately started praying
good.
because of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I was thinking it because I was like, because I wanted to say, what happened? What? Was it a car accident?
Kim,
And
I
she
need you to
said,
have some sense of
girl,
responsibility.
she said she's seen it all over my face. She's seen the complexity. And she was praying like, Jesus, in the name of Jesus,
Please don't let her say
hold
it.
my
Please don't let her
sister's
say it.
mouth.
Just hold her tongue.
Don't let her
Hold
do
her
it.
tongue.
Don't let her get kicked out the church. But I was like, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay. And then I was like, pray for their family. But it just caught
Kim,
me off guard. I wanted more background information. What the heck happened?
I'm gonna hurt you. Okay, I'm gonna
I
hurt
was
you.
really concerned though, and it took me off guard. Like, you just gave me the list. You don't think you need to tell me things like that? Like, how did the husband and the wife die?
Right, right, right,
What
right,
happened?
right.
Like, I was devastated.
Yeah. And you almost want to say, we got to watch, we got to pray for the family because, fire is devastating. So,
Right, yeah.
a car accident can be very devastating. A sudden death.
Yeah.
You want to say something because, trust me, it was a lot of people going,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. Yeah.
what
What?
happened? Was it murder
Right.
suicide?
Yeah.
Like, we got a lot
I
of
was
IG
like
channel watchers.
so, yeah, I was so devastated though. And I had to pull myself together because I was confused. Like, what? But she was like, girl, I saw it in your face and immediately started praying that you would not say what you was thinking,
I love it.
whatever that may have been. I was like, why you? Because I did feel the Lord say, move on.
Kim, you gonna stop. I love
I'm
it.
going to tell you, because all of a sudden I went, okay. Get free.
Out of control. I love it. That is
But
hilarious.
it's
That would
it's
be me
just,
because I'm
yeah,
naturally silly. Mine is not as much of a I just I am so silly. And like there used to be a TV show on and I forget the name of it, but it was something about TV. And this kid, he was raised, he watched a lot of TV as a kid. Like I think his parents worked or whatever, and they used the TV as a babysitter. So every single thing that happened in his life, he would pull up these snippets from like 50s and 60s TV shows
hmm
and have these snippets run through his head. And that's how I am. I love cartoons. I am
I'm a
constantly
comedy person.
right. So
I'm an
I love
unofficial
Seinfeld
Yeah, I'm
and
an
all these
unofficial
kind of things.
comic. I'm an
Are
unofficial
you
comic.
okay?
Um,
Excuse me. Just because you personally are comical does not make you a comic.
Whatever. I'm an
Okay.
unofficial comic.
I don't know about
I
that, but
even
because
have it in my
you are definitely
credits.
comical. But
I even have it in my credits. Okay, I have it in my credits.
all
Look,
right.
I'm a
Well, I can't wait for
self-named
you
comic.
to do your podcast where you do your
I
comedy
do
sketch.
comedy. I be thinking about that sometimes.
You need to do it
But
because then maybe you'll
sometimes
understand that
I
you're
be
not as
like,
much a comic as
I
you are
don't
just
want to say,
comical.
I don't, I don't want to, I better not. It be so many stuff that I be seeing and I be wanting to say. It be like,
But
maybe
see,
not.
this is one of the blessings about now with having these phones because now we have phones and you can sometimes just text and go,
I text
and then
people. I
yeah,
text my kids all the time.
yeah,
I'll be stuff on Instagram that I don't want to see, and me and Nisi, we text people stuff that we know we can't text in the public, so we just text it. We send the link to one another.
yeah,
We
and say,
can't be
because
seen
it's some
doing
foolishness, it's
this
some
in the
foolishness going
public
on. I
all
love
the
it.
time. I know, but this is my last episode, so make sure you like, share. Not as last episode for the year because I actually was supposed to be on vacation,
Okay.
but I wanted to really talk about um who's checking on you
Kim,
and
can I
who.
read one thing?
Yeah, go right ahead, sis.
Um, and this was actually I shared this on Facebook because my daughter sent it. She put it out there on her Facebook page, and it was somebody else's text that she shared, and I was like, "Oh my God, Tage, that was so good and so timely." Um, and so hold on. Oh gosh. All right. Talk amongst yourself for a second, because you know it takes old people a minute to find stuff.
Sure. So about that, my topic and my niece telling me I'm overtime. I
I love her.
realized that.
Okay.
She
All
was
right. So
my
this is
time
what she
bird.
shared.
That's why.
I got it. And it came from a gentleman, Andre Ramsey. And it says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he had it all in most people's eyes. It doesn't matter that he had a beautiful family. It doesn't matter that he was an influencer. It doesn't matter that he was a millionaire. It didn't matter that he had a beautiful home. It didn't matter how much love was in his home. You can't see any of that when it gets dark. What looks good on the outside isn't always good on the inside. You might be everything that the world loves and all the things you no longer want to be at the same time. Although I don't know you, this hit me hard. Much love and light to your wife and those babies. Um, you know, quote on hashtag check on your strong friends and
Oh,
check on your
yes.
happy friends too.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he wrote that in light of Twitch, but I just thought that was so appropriate because I actually had somebody talking about in a group. I heard somebody said, well, do you think it was some foul play? Because I just can't believe he would kill himself because he had everything going on. And I was like, yeah, but that's how you think if you've never really been in therapy, if you've never
Mm-hmm.
really been on the brink. I can
Or
honestly
yeah,
say I've never
yeah,
wanted to kill myself. I have never
yeah,
felt that. But I can
yeah.
remember times when I would come home from work and be in my work clothes and my trench coat and be on the couch in a fetal position. And my husband would come in the door maybe a half an hour after me and say, okay, are you all right? And I'm like, I just need like 15 more minutes to just stay in this pod. And he would just like kind of let me be and let me take that time. So, but I know that if you really get into that dark place, or if you get into that sad place, if you are in that place and you cannot see your way out of it, I do understand how you could possibly do that. I personally, I don't think I could ever do it because I'm so scary, but I can understand that the people who can be around you may not realize where you are if they have never been in that space. So,
Exactly.
certainly I appreciate you making this the topic today. This has
Mm-hmm.
been a ball, and thank you for coming off
I
vacation
want.
for us.
I
So,
know,
when are you
right? I
coming
want to
back?
show. I'm coming back the ninth, I think it is.
Okay.
But listen, I'm gonna show you. This is what I have. This is my girl Evelyn, self-proclaimed comedian. That's what's in my credits. Thank you for checking on that. I
Evelyn,
am.
thank you for telling us that, because to me, I am self-proclaimed a model, but I'm only five
That's
feet
right.
two.
And you hold that. You walk in that, sis. You walk in that.
But
Okay?
everybody knows that I am medium height, and I will tell people in a minute
It don't
why that's
matter.
important.
It don't matter. It don't matter. You got to self proclaim yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to say who you are. Like what you said, you got to say, I am happy. I'm
Right?
having an awesome day. I'm a self proclaimed comedian.
Yeah.
Okay, like the woman who wrote your check. I think you said Deb. She wrote the $1 million check. Why? Because she a
She's a
millionaire.
so that's
You
right.
know what?
You
She
right.
no, she a trillionaire and she can
That's
write
right.
checks for $1 million like it ain't nothing.
That's true.
You gotta call yourself what you believe you are. It don't matter what nobody else says. It really doesn't matter. I don't care that you think I'm not a comedian, but watch it. I bet y'all won't change my credits. Like, listen. But let
Go
me say,
ahead,
you said,
Kim.
oh, this is my last thing. This is my last thing. And I want to share this with the world. You said you've never gotten to a place that you would commit suicide. I have.
Wow.
I have. And that was when
Wow.
I was married and I felt I felt like the world was crashing in me
Yeah.
and no one would miss me.
Mm.
And we was in an apartment and I got my favorite apartment. It was on the top of the building. It was a big building. You could see out like when the one year the president had flew in, we could see the plane landing, the whole nine. Beautiful. Like I wanted this apartment. But that unfortunate, but fortunate, because I got a blessing out of it. My son wouldn't change the world. Nothing. Both my sons wouldn't change anything. But there was a time I was sitting on the side of my bed
Wow.
and I said, I should just jump out this window. And it's a dark place.
It is a dark place.
And I don't think I've ever shared that publicly, but what I did call was my daddy.
Yes.
And he tried to encourage me.
Wow.
I did make a call. And that's the important thing. When
Yeah.
you feel like the world is crashing in on you,
Make a
make a
call.
call.
Yes.
Because there is someone who will run to you,
Yep.
who will talk you through it,
Yep.
who will be there with you. Don't sit in it. And that's the problem, especially
And
for
if you
African
don't know who that person
Americans.
is, dial 988. Because 988
Hello,
is the
it's this
National
that's what I
Suicide Helpline.
yes, yes.
988. Just like we dial 911, dial
9 8 and
988
they just
anywhere in
changed
this
their
country.
number. They
And
just
somebody
changed
will
their
be there.
number. Yep.
Yep.
They just changed their number. And because you just need someone to talk you through.
Yeah.
You just need someone to hear,
Yeah.
to listen.
And Kim, I can't like it, it breaks my heart to hear you say that because I cannot imagine what the world would be like today if you were not
Girl,
here.
me too. Me too.
You know what I mean? Like
But you know what? Seriously, I can't imagine what I would have put my son through,
right,
what I would have put my brothers through, what I would
right.
have put my parents through, my aunts through, my cousins through, my uncles through. That's what I
It's
can't.
so much bigger than just you. And for
Yeah,
most of us, even those who feel inconsequential, it's so much bigger than just them. Even if your people don't know how to tell you, don't know how to show you, don't know how to let you know how important you are to them, you are important to somebody, and it will break their heart for you to not be here.
girl, talk about it. Talk about it.
So, anyway, well, honey, you have a wonderful vacation. It was good hanging with you.
I'm writing the number down
Okay.
so it'll be in there and I can pin it later.
Okay. But there are, there people can also,
I don't even
most
think they
cities
call
have
it
crisis
suicide
centers.
line anymore. They call it
They do
something
they
else now.
they do call it the national suicide hotline. That's what
Let
I've
me
seen
see.
as recently because a lot of people have been talking about it, in light of this Twitch thing really hit a
Crisis
lot of
and
young people.
suicide. Crisis and
Yes, crisis
suicide
and
is what they
suicide.
call it now. Because
Yeah.
sometimes people are in a crisis. And I had someone that I hopefully he can get his schedule up together and he can come on because I have someone who's a crisis outreach.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm so into mental health. Like
Yeah.
seriously, I'm so into mental health. And
Yeah.
while I'm on this whole year thing, listen, I just want to share that, share that kind of thing, empowering people, encouraging people, uplifting people, everything, making people, giving resources. That's all I've done all year long.
Yeah.
Give resources, help. There's been, yeah, some fun days. Like I had my kids on, they was acting a hot mess, but that's beside the point. It was funny as all heck. But so there's sometimes that there's a just chill,
Yeah.
episode. But I had a just chill episode yesterday. I mean last week. It was just me and I did Would You Rather. And everybody was engaged.
I
And it was
can't.
so much fun. It was so much fun. But yeah, I just want to help people when I
Yeah.
can. And I just want to be me.
Yeah.
And you can accept me if you like. And
Yeah.
if you don't, that's okay too.
Right.
I'm good. If you don't want to share and be selfish, keeping me to you and not sharing me with your community, your network, that's okay too. That's okay. I understand. But you're selfish. Share me. Hit
This will be
share. Hit
when the
like.
self-proclaimed comic comes out.
Yes. See? See? I can do it.
Well,
Listen.
Kim, we will certainly be sharing you. Okay.
Thank
We
you.
will be
I
sharing
appreciate
you
it.
for 2023. And we are going to
Share me
pray
now
that.
so I can get up in 2023. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Share me
Let us
now.
know.
Don't wait.
Okay.
Now is the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Now is the moment. Such a time as this. Okay? Don't let it pass you by.
All right.
I'm just saying. All right.
Okay,
Well,
Pastor.
anyway, everyone, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I enjoyed this year. I'm at what's this, 46. I promised myself 100 episodes before I do anything. And
Yes.
God is good because I'm at
Yeah.
46. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? 46.
Kim,
He
that's
ain't playing.
awesome.
He ain't
That's
playing.
awesome. So that means this time last year, you didn't know nothing about this. You wasn't doing this.
Well, actually, yes, because I had initially started in March of last year.
Okay.
But then
March of
my
21.
brother, yeah, my brother got
Okay.
diagnosed with cancer. I was trying to, I'm his power of attorney. I was trying to get things settled. He kept getting worse.
Okay.
So I ended
You
up
had to take a
not
break.
being, yeah, because I kept saying reschedule. And then somebody
Yeah.
was like, Kim, stop rescheduling.
Yeah.
Just take a pause.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did because of how bad it got.
Wow.
So it was good that I did stop. So
Awesome.
yeah, the vision, like it was this year was refresh. Next year is rebirth.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, Kim, I'm going to say that if the trumpet don't sound and the rivers don't rise, I will look forward to seeing you in 2023.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. And
He
Kim,
gonna
I
keep
wish
me.
you nothing but beautiful things for
Thank
2023. Have a
you.
wonderful vacation.
You
Get some
too.
rest.
Amen to
Okay.
that.
All right.
Amen. Because I'm off from cemetery too. I don't go back into the family. Yeah. Yeah. It ain't
Rest,
nothing but a
refresh,
party.
and do not end up on Instagram because everybody got a camera. Love
I
you.
know. Love you too. All right, y'all. Don't forget, like, share, all the good things. Let's just talk with Kim. We'll be back on January 9th, I believe. Let me check that date.
That is the
Oh, it won't
Monday,
even
the
come up.
ninth.
Yep,
That's the Monday.
January 9th. I will be back with a whole new lineup. I'm getting it all together now. But until then, see you in 2023. Bye.